This guy just stopped by. He saw my bike down, and he works here, and was gonna come by and you know, he was gonna help me pick up my bike. So that's great. So I had to stop my filming for a second, and I told him if this doesn't work, I'll give him a shout out and bring him up to pick up the bike. Okay, here it is. Here's my bike on the ground. It was a gentle fall. Obviously, I did it on purpose. About 6 months or so ago, I posted a video about how I use this $5 strap to help me, and senior citizen of slight build, pick up a 450-pound motorcycle. And I got a lot of comments from that video, and I appreciate all the comments. They were very helpful. They weren't hurtful. Everybody was very respectful, but they fell into two categories. Half the comments were, you know, there's a better way to pick up a motorcycle than using your back with a strap facing the bike like I was doing in that video. The second group of comments were, you're going to hurt your back. You're going to be seeing a chiropractor. This is injury prone. Lift with your feet. Don't lift with your back. I get it. Those two groups of comments that were repeated many times, that makes sense to me. I still carry this strap, with me to use for other, purposes, but I don't intend on using it to lift the bike. Instead, what I went out and I got a tool that many people have. This tool, I believe, and I carry it with me, and it's to me, it's sort of insurance, because I travel solo mostly, and I really don't want to be stuck out there having to lift up this bike in a spot where it's much more difficult than this, gravel, and be there all alone. So stay tuned. I'll show you how I'm going to pick up this bike using my new tool that's not a $5 strap. So the comments I got about using proven methods to pick up the bike mostly were the method where you back up to the bike and you stand the bike up by walking back with your butt and your back on the saddle, on the seat. Well, that seems to work really well if your bike isn't flat on the ground. A lot of the larger bikes, like the BMW GS and any bike with a metal pannier, will sit up higher. As you see, the Yamaha T7 is a narrow bike, and it sits very flat on the ground. It doesn't sit at a 45-degree angle like many of the other larger adventure bikes, or an adventure bike that happens to have metal panniers on it. So this is sitting fairly flat. It's difficult to get your back on this without really sitting on the ground. I'm going to give it a try here just to demonstrate lifting it up using the method with the back. There's no way. There is no way it sits so flat. I'm not that strong, and I'm sitting on the ground trying to pick this up, and I can't even budge it. Well, because I've had the bike down a few times and struggled to get it up, even on level ground like this, I went out and after watching some videos, I bought an eastbound moto winch, and I've been very satisfied with it. I carry it with me. It's in my little pack back here. It's very compact. Does it add some weight to the bike? Yes, it does. But it's for me, it's a really good piece of safety gear, especially when I'm traveling alone. So let me go ahead and get this out and set it up and see if I can't lift the bike up now with my moto jack. The motor winch is a modular unit. It contains two larger tubes that join together to form the bottom half of the winch, and two smaller tubes that also join together to form the upper half of the winch. The storage bag has a Velcro strap that's built in that can be used to fasten onto the front brake lever and hold it tight to keep the motorcycle from moving. Of course, I also put the bike into gear to keep the rear wheel from moving as well. There's a loop on the strap that is used to attach to the end of the handlebars, and the handlebars are pulled backwards towards the tank. The strap is then fed through the ratchet, and the base of the winch is placed near the handlebar. The winch isn't used to completely lift up the motorcycle off the ground, but it gets it at about a 45-degree angle, which is then manageable just to use your legs and push it up and stand it up straight. As you can see, when the winch is used, it puts the motorcycle about the same angle as a BMW GS would be with metal panniers, and this makes it much easier to lift the rest of the way up. Well, as you can probably see, that worked fairly easily, and I'll be quite honest, this is the first time I've ever used it. I've watched the videos, and but I've never done it, so I took a risk kind of coming out here, although as you saw there are people here, and trying to use it for my first time. And it's very simple. It's a very simple lightweight jack. I'll go over the components of it here in just a bit and show you what it's made of and how it packs down and how to set it up. The eastbound motor winch comes in two sizes. I bought the larger size basically because it didn't cost that much more money, and it did add a little bit of weight and a little bit larger size, but I wanted to be confident that I had a strong enough winch to lift up my bike should I have luggage, and also if I was in a precarious spot that I needed a little stronger winch. This one is about $200, 200 US dollars. It's very well made. I'm not getting any compensation from Eastbound for this. I'm just showing it. There's probably other manufacturers, but Eastbound is, I bought some other gear from them, and very high quality. So I do recommend Eastbound. Their workmanship is really good. So the packet weighs, I'm not sure, 5 pounds. It's going to add some weight to the bike, but to me the safety is well worth it. The little pack here has Velcro strips that, as you saw on the video, I used to hold down my front brake lever so the front wheel didn't move. And inside the pack is all the modular components to the winch, which includes a nice strap that has a loop on one end, so you can put the strap through this loop and then fasten it onto the handlebars. There's the ratchet itself, which is very strong and sturdy. On the top, there's a little pulley that the strap goes through. And then the other components to this are two larger tubes that seat smaller tubes inside just for storage. And the two larger tubes go on the bottom of the winch, and the two smaller tubes go on the top part of the winch. And there's connectors to connect the tubes. And it's a very strong winch. The other aspect of this too is that this tool can also be used to drag your bike out of the mud if you happen to be stuck in mud or sand or else in a rut. It's not only used just to lift your bike up, but can be used to kind of pull it along. I do carry an extra strap with me, as you saw earlier, and so I can tie it onto this if I need an extra long strap to pull my bike around or to yank it out of, like I said, out of a ditch. I mostly travel alone, solo. So this really gives me some peace of mind that I can get my bike up and out of a situation where it would be very difficult for me to do on my own without any help. Like I said, I'm not a young man, and I'm really not that strong. I have difficulty, as you could probably see, trying to lift up that bike. So I take this with me no matter if it's a short ride or a long ride. This always goes in my safety kit. Well, the bike's back up standing. I've packed my gear away in my kit, and one of my upcoming videos I'll show you my entire safety kit. But I take the safety kit wherever I go. As Carl Malden, back in the day, if you're as old as I am, if you remember, he'd say, "Don't leave home without it." And that's the way I am now with my safety kit. Whether it's a 10-mile ride or a 5-day adventure, the safety kit goes with me. I've had my Yamaha Tenere 700 for less than a year. In an earlier video, I described how I'm transitioning from 50 years of riding a street cruiser to riding a 450-pound adventure motorcycle. One of my concerns that I share with a lot of other riders is that the Yamaha T7 is not only heavy, but it's top heavy, and it lies very flat on the ground, making it more difficult than other bikes to pick up when it's been dropped. The Moto Winch gives me confidence and assurance that I can probably pick up the bike traveling solo. I plan to continue to practice lifting the bike with and without the Moto Winch to develop better skills than I have at this point. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notify button too if you'd like to see more of my senior moments.